Hello YouTube, Mr. Shining Time here. I wanted to make this video today just to talk about something that's going on right now. I think it's, I read a lot of stories that go on in the media and I guess in the mainstream, and a lot of it I just kind of glance over and goes in one ear and out the other. I'm really more interested in the economics of what's going on in America and all that, but this story that I came across a couple of days ago, I think it really demonstrates the mentality of what's going on here in America and the disconnect that you see. I mean, there is a real disconnect between different groups of people, and the various actors that were involved in this story kind of show how our society works and the type of different motivations and agendas that are being pushed in America. And I just wanted to focus on that there is a serious disconnect in America. There is an almost an ignorance of sorts in this country. The story I wanted to talk about is this Tyler the Creator Mountain Dew commercial. I mean, I've seen screen grabs of it. I don't really watch TV. I don't follow all this mainstream shit like Lil Wayne, and I never even heard of Tyler the Creator until a couple of days ago. So I don't really follow all this stuff like young 20-somethings are into. I'm 28 years old, and I got a lot of other shit going on, but I don't really follow this type of stuff. But I read it into this story, and it was really interesting to me, especially because several people got involved in it, and also it involved obviously a large beverage producer, Mountain Dew. And if you haven't seen, I'm sure some people have noticed, but the gist of it is that this rapper, Tyler the Creator, made some commercial that involved a lineup of black people portraying criminals and this white woman who is supposedly trying to point out these criminals in a lineup. And there was an uproar about this commercial because there was this thing that, particularly led by Dr.Boyce Watkins, that it was a commercial that portrayed negative images of black people. Now, my thought is that, I've made videos about this before. That video I made about the painting, in which a man decided to make a painting about American history, and the only people that appeared in the painting were white, or the black people in the painting were all the way in the back, or there was some sort of misrepresentation of historical African American figures in that painting. I made that video. It's one of my videos a while back. You can find it in there. And I've made other videos that have to do with images. You see, images are extremely important. They're very important. It's not the perceptions of a people, the way that people think about other groups and other types of things that are going on in the country. It's not shaped by one single particular thing. It's a building over time of many different images or many different means of influence over time, over and over and over again, repetition. And that's how we think about things. That's how we formulate our perceptions of things. And this commercial rather, is just one more in a multitude, millions, hundreds of millions of negative images of black people that swirl around in this country. And that's why it kind of annoys me when I was reading up on the stories and reading some of the comments from people, various news media and news websites, and people have this sort of laissez-faire attitude, especially, even black people who have this sort of, oh, it's not racist, he's just getting his money and you should support this brother. This is what I was kind of mad at, because I feel that our people do not understand the gravity or how the system works. That's one thing I don't think we collectively have understood yet, is how the system works. Things are not done on accident, especially large corporations like Mountain Dew. This is not an accident. What they do is never coincidence. It's planned out. They look 5-10 moves ahead. And our images that are put out in the media, it's important that we have to try and control that. And I applaud Dr. Boyce Watkins for what he has done in bringing attention to this. Now, if you go to his video, I'm going to put a link of his video into this video so you can see his response to Tyler, the Creator. And you can see the ratings on his video and how many thumbs down there are. But I also want you to look at the comment section on his video and see which group of people are criticizing Dr. Boyce Watkins. See that the majority of criticism towards his video are coming from white kids who, I guess, like Tyler, the Creator, and listen to his music. Now, it's strange, you see, that all of Dr. Boyce Watkins' videos have around 1,000 to 5,000 views. This one video has 15,000 views, coming from people who have found his channel. I guess they must have read about his name or read his name somewhere in some other news article, and they came and searched for his video and found it, and they came to thumbs down the video and to make negative comments about him. And just going back to that idea of the disconnect here in America, you see, there is a complete disconnect on how white people see America and how black people see America, at least some black people. There's a disconnect there, and you can see that disconnect in the comments. From the perspective of white people, we're in a post-racial society, and everyone who points out the problems of race is further exacerbating or digging up the past and making racism worse. From their perspective, we should stop talking about race. From their perspective, we should think of ourselves as Americans first rather than as black people living in America. And that is the type of attitude you see portrayed in the comments. They want us to ignore all the negative imagery we see on television and magazines and movies because we're in a post-racial society. So we're supposed to look at this constant pounding of negative imagery as something that's to be laughed at, to be joked about, and to just be brushed off as just comedy. It's just a joke. But nothing could be further from the truth. And then there is this other faction, black people, some black people anyway, who say, hold on a minute. If we're supposed to be in a post-racial society, then why are there so many things that are targeted towards the degradation of black people? Is that a coincidence? And there's that disconnect and it's surprising that even after 400 years of living side by side, we still can't figure this out. And it's irritating to see all these people come onto the video and talk about this. It's a joke. He just meant it to be funny. It doesn't matter what the intention of the creator was. What matters is what message the message that it puts out. All right. It doesn't matter what your intention was. You are judged on the effects that you have on the community. And like I said in the beginning of this video, images are extremely important because people consume hours and hours of television every week. They listen to music and they watch movies. And when for your whole entire life you see black people as criminals, rappers, athletes, uneducated comedians, buffoons, when you see that type of imagery over and over and over again, you start to believe that that's all that those groups of people are capable of. Which is why people act shocked, right? When you see a black person who can, you know, I don't want to say educated because that's kind of a loaded word, but a black person who is knowledgeable of what's going on, is cognizant of politics, economics. Oh, you're acting white. Oh, niggas don't do that. All niggas do is play ball and listen to music. You know, that's that kind of mentality. And until we understand how the game is played, you know, for me, I'm still learning. I'm still learning about how this country operates. And what I have learned in the last few years is that this shit's deep. And it's connected to a lot of different motivations and agendas. It's like a spider web. It's all connected. There's nothing that is just trivial. There's nothing that is an accident. This stuff is put in place for a reason. And so we, as a people, have to look down on a deeper level than this, especially beyond the surface. You know, I know it's a black male that's behind the creation of this ad, but it doesn't matter who the face is that created it. What matters is what effect it has on the community. Because if a black person sells you heroin and a white person sells you heroin, it's going to have the same effect on you, regardless of who's selling it to you, right? It doesn't matter who's selling you the poison is going to have the same effect on you. And that's what we need to think about. Forget about the creator and think about what it does, what the creation is doing. So, I mean, we can't have this laissez-faire attitude, like I said before, going forward. We as a people should be the most serious people in this country. We should be the most, you know, anal and rigid about what we do. But that's not the direction we're pushed into. We're pushed into a direction of, you know, buffoonery, you know, a life of consumerism and trivialities and all this type of stuff, you know. I don't know. I think that it's a real shame that this black man, this black rapper, was given an opportunity to get his voice heard, to get his creation out there, and he chose to use that opportunity he was given to put out negative imagery to degrade his own people. And he's only 22 years old, so he has time to learn. But there's so much of that out there in the media. It's too much of it. And it's something we definitely need to address. I'm going to cut this video off because I don't like my videos going over 15 minutes. Leave your feedback, and thanks for listening.